Hello, Jen here, and I have a layout for you for Lisa's 5-year YouTube anniversary hop. So Lisa from Pink Glitter Scrapper is celebrating her 5th year on YouTube, and a whole bunch of her scrappy friends are getting together to scrap lift some of her work and just be inspired by her. So instead of picking a specific layout, I kind of looked through all of her Instagram and Facebook and everything like that, and I just have known her for several years now, and so I know that she loves to use cut files. And when I saw this Mickey pumpkin that she did for a recent layout, I kind of wanted to do something Halloween inspired because we're obviously nice and close to Halloween, and I wanted to use a cut file. So I'm not scrap lifting a specific layout, but I'm just being inspired by that, I guess you can say. So I picked a cut file. This is a Paige Evans cut file. It was one of the free ones that she always offers on her Facebook page. And for me, I love that because I can honestly say I don't pull my silhouette out very often. I need to get into the habit of doing it more often because I'm always so happy with how my cut files turn out. But I just don't, I cut a few of them out and then I kind of forget and don't pull it out often enough to always have cut files available. So I think that's going to be a challenge for me for 2021 is to try to use at least one cut file a month. So this one I just thought was really fun. It gives you a lot of opportunity to fill in all of the little spaces with different colors, and you could get as creative as you want with this one. It says spooktacular, so it's just kind of a fun Halloween-y cut file. And it was pretty easy to back. So there's lots of little details, and I could definitely have gone even more in depth with backing the cut file with different papers and stuff like that. I did a pretty simplified version of it, but definitely you could get a lot more intricate and really back every single little space with different colors and that kind of thing. But I just picked some basic Halloween colors and papers. It's all from a little Recollections kind of mini paper pack that I have in my kit, the How to Kill a Kit with Style kit. My kit for October is fall and Halloween themed, and I think these are actually designed to matte photos. That's kind of what you buy them for, but just the size of the paper is good for working with your cut files too. So that's what I pulled out. I didn't go too crazy on things, but I kind of, I did the individual colors for the candy corn, and I made sure that my little pumpkin had different colored eyes, so the black eyes and black mouth, and I did the little bat and the stars in a different color, and it was kind of fun. I sat in front of the TV, and my son and I watched Nightmare Before Christmas, and I backed that cut file. So my plan is to have it right at the very top of the page, and what I wanted to do so that it wasn't just being put down on white on white because the outline is obviously white, I decided to do a little bit of mixed media. So you saw me there just smushing around a few different oranges. I kind of just dipped my brush in the palette, kind of picking up a little bit of yellow all the way down to the most kind of orangey red, and smushed that around with some packaging. And now I'm just going to let it dry, and I'm going to go ahead and create a few little layers behind this picture of my daughter. So these are just the scraps that I used to back the cut file. I'm going to go ahead and create some layers. So I'm not going to have any of them peeking out too much, but I just wanted to have a little bit of interest and color. I don't want anything to kind of compete with the cut file and compete with the pictures. So I'm going for kind of I guess a lot of like white space and kind of a clean layout with not a ton of extra embellishment, but I just love having these little layers and pops of color in behind your photo because that gives you a little bit of extra interest there. I find that this is a good way for me to kind of kill time and let the watercolors dry naturally instead of pulling out my heat gun. So when I have the time and I'm not kind of in a rush, I can go ahead and just play around with these little layers and let that paper dry. It doesn't actually take too long because I didn't get the paper too super wet, but you just want it to dry before you try to stick down. I'm going to pop up the cut file, so I want to make sure that it's pretty dry before I go and stick that down and get the little foam squares to actually stick to the paper properly. So you can see I'm just cutting little pieces and kind of popping them all around the photo. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. And then now my background is dry, so I can go ahead and get my cut file set up. So instead of using the sheets of foam, I'm going to go ahead and use these foam squares because then I can kind of follow the lines of each of the individual letters and just make sure that everything's kind of covered. And I cut this cut file at the size that it was created for. So I didn't play around with it or try to, make it smaller or larger or anything like that. So this is just how it was designed to fit right through your paper. So whether you stick it in the middle or I'm going to do it up at the top here, I just kind of liked the way that spider kind of hangs over the photo. I had to just tuck it to the side a little bit, so I think it normally is supposed to hang down a little bit straighter, but I think it looks kind of cute just tucked there with the picture, and that kind of ties everything together. And then now I'm just going to go through a few of my little die cuts that I have. It's just a big bag of all kinds of Halloween die cuts from different places, and I throw them all in there. And again, they're all part of my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit for this month. So it's just my big Halloween kit. I can link the video if you want to see everything that's in it, but it's a lot of just random stuff all thrown together. And so I thought I would add that extra little embellishment cluster there because I do have an issue with white space. I always feel like I need to fill it up, but also I just wanted to add just something, I don't know, something a little bit cute and kind of have the word Halloween represented there. So it says Happy Halloween and it has October 31st and then that cute little ghost. And then I did a sketchy outline around the whole thing just to bring in a little bit more of that kind of dark black. And now I'm using some of my ink just to splatter some more black around the layout and have just these little blotches. And I kind of like, I know that this ink doesn't leave a really clean splatter the way that watercolors or even the mists do. This one bleeds a little bit, but I kind of like that contrast between the really clean cut file and then that more kind of mixed media background. And the last thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of orange sequins just to add a little glitter. And that is it. That's my layout for today. Congratulations to my scrappy friend on 5 years on YouTube. That's an amazing milestone, and I wish you many, many more. Please join us in celebrating Lisa today by hopping along with all the links that you can find down below and get lots of inspiration and wish her a happy 5th anniversary as well. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Happy scrapping. Bye.